This is Algebra 2, Lesson 12.4. So in this lesson we're going to talk about phase shift. We've already talked about amplitude, vertical shift, and period as three different ways to translate a sine or a cosine graph. So phase shift is the fourth method that we'll discuss in this chapter. So we already know what a sine graph looks like. Slides through the origin, has that cyclic 360-degree rotation. I'm going to also graph the equation sine of x plus 45 and sine of x plus 90 to kind of see what happens in each of those instances. So my standard sine graph stayed there. Sine of x plus 45 is graphing, and there is sine of x plus 90. So in each instance, what you should note is that the graph translated to the left, and it moved exactly the number of degrees we put into the equation. So my original was centered at the origin. X plus 45 moved 45 degrees to the left. X plus 90 moved 90 degrees to the left. So on my worksheet, graph translated number of degrees to left. My sketch will not look good, but the original was here. The new one was here, and the new one was here. Moving to the left. Okay, so we're going to do the same exact thing, except make them minuses. So I'm going to keep my sine graph. I'm going to make this sine x minus 45 and sine x minus 90. Okay, my original sine graph is still there. Sine x minus 45 is graphing, and sine x minus 90 is graphing. So what we should notice is that the graphs now are moving the said number of degrees to the right. And if you don't like the word translates, remember it means the same as slide. Translate means slide. And again, I'll attempt to sketch just one cycle of the sine graph, but there's my original. And then when I move to minus 45, and then when I move to minus 90. That was pretty bad. But the basic idea is that phase shift is a horizontal translation. In my equation here, whatever value I substitute in to that location is going to slide the graph, translate the graph left and right. If that value follows a plus sign, the graph moves to the left. And if that value follows a minus sign, the graph moves to the right. And I kind of feel like I meant to write that all in this big space for phase shift, but yeah, that's basically all it is. Now remember, we can do these things in cooperation with the other transformations. We can do a 4 sine x plus 30. The graph will move left 30 and be stretched 4 tall. Or we can do negative cosine 2x minus 90. The graph will move 90 units to the right, have 2 cycles in 360, and be reflected. I don't think I want to do the example, but hopefully just getting that exposure to phase shift right there is helpful. If you have your graphing calculator, obviously you keep using it the same way. For the exercises, without one it's difficult but not impossible. If you have questions or need help, please let me know. And good luck on the exercises.